ain't the damn thing. Alright guys, so today is T-shot day, and for all you guys that's new here, or you're pre-T, starting T, kind of just want to see a video of what it's like to take testosterone. I am the guy today. For those who do not know, my name is Mari. I am a YouTube content creator because obviously you're here on my YouTube right now. Today I decided that I usually get a lot of requests on my T-shots and what that day is like every week, because you do have to take a T-shot every week depending on if you're taking intramuscular, and for me I am taking IM, so every week I have to shoot myself in the ass, and sometimes that's okay because why? I love being a man. So to start it off, what I definitely want to show you guys is my equipment. Now I'm going to show you guys again this in a better view, because if I flip this it's not going to work, but right now I basically have my testosterone, I have my 2 syringes that I need, a band-aid, my needle, and some alcohol pads. So that's just my setup that I usually have within my top here. I have a box of all of my T equipment that I keep handy, and as well as a syringe sharps container, because anytime you use needles, you always have to dispose of them properly, and because for safety purposes. So other than that though, let's go ahead and get started so you guys can see what I have to do every Thursday. First off, before I show you guys anything, main thing is please wash your hands first. Wash your hands before you start and wash your hands before you take a shot. I usually do both because I just don't want to get any infections. So my main concern is really just making sure that my hands are clean. So please wash your hands with soap and water first, dry them off, and then we're going to get down into the preparation of the shot. So I hope this is a great view for you guys. I can understand the concern that you might have when trying to view it, but I'm going to try my best to make sure I have everything in the cameras and XYZ. So the first thing that I normally do on my T-shot days is I always take out my testosterone to see if I have enough. Obviously it looks like I'm gonna have to go get another capsule if it decides to focus, because I don't think I have enough for my shot today. So for me personally, your shot usually determines on your level of comfortability and what you decide to take. You can always change the ranges on how much testosterone you want to take. So the lowest dosage you could take is 0.1 milliliters, and the highest you could take is 0.5 milliliters. Sometimes testosterone usually affects my body in multiple ways, so sometimes I either go higher, sometimes I go lower, just depending on how I feel for the week and how the testosterone affected me last week in my body. Now I'm used to it. I think my body's used to it now, so I usually stay at 0.4 right now, and I do plan on going to 0.5 later. Yes, I have been on testosterone for over a year now. I think it's been a year and about 2 months. But I still like to just take the precautions as necessary when it comes to taking my shot. So before I go get another capsule of testosterone, what I do want to prep for is the needle. So here you have your 1 milliliter disposable syringe, and this is just the syringe itself. Sometimes their syringes might have needles that come with it. For me, mine does not, so I have to purchase a 18 gauge needle as well to attach to my syringe. So what we're gonna do first is open our syringe up and our needle, and we're gonna attach them together. I usually don't like to touch it, so usually what I end up doing is screwing it directly on there, because I don't know, you know, just in case your hands are dirty. I just prefer to kind of keep it loose, but I definitely like to make sure that it's on there tight, especially now that well, if it decides to focus. Okay, I like to keep it on tight just to make sure it doesn't fall off or anything, even though you're gonna end up taking this off regardless. So next thing that's coming into place is you always try to get the air bubbles out. So what you want to do now is take the top off and you just pull it up and down. I usually do it 3 times. 3 is my lucky number because I don't know why, it just is. I just like 3s. I just like to do things in 3s. Not really a superstition, but I just like to do things in 3s. So let me go get another testosterone capsule real quick and then we'll continue this process. But for me, I'm just gonna end up using a whole new capsule. I'll show you guys what I usually do with the previously used capsules. I usually keep them on as memories, but the first thing you do once you open a new pack, you take the top off and you're going to use one of your alcohol pads to clean off the top. This is just to make sure that there isn't any bacteria on it, and as well as making sure that you have a clean syringe and as well as a clean top to insert the syringe for infection purposes. So now that that's cleaned off, what you're gonna do is take off the top to your syringe on your 18 gauge. You're gonna poke it through the top of your testosterone, flip it up so that it's straight. I usually bring the needle down just a little bit because it's not that necessary, and go down until you go to your preferred milliliter usage. Like I said, for me, I take 0.4 every Thursday, which is every week for me. And I feel like that's just what's most comfortable for me. I started off at 0.2 when I first started taking testosterone, and they consider that to be a non-binary dosage of testosterone. But depending on who you are, your results can vary on how fast you get side effects. So for me, my side effects came in very fast, even with taking the 0.2. So like I say, whether you go up or down, your body changes could vary differently. So I'm going to show you guys my milliliter usage. Hopefully it decides to focus. It's probably because I'm in it as well. Well, that's what I want to show you guys today. But on the sides here, it's like a 0.4 milliliter usage. I know you can't see it, but it's there. So now that part is done, what you're supposed to do is you take off the top to the needle that you use, because you can't use this to inject yourself with it. Throw it in my syringe container here, and then I'll open up my other needle. And with this needle, this is the 23 gauge needle. You really don't need this. I've been told from a friend of mine who works in the pharmacy that this is easier to use when it comes to inserting, but you're supposed to use this type of syringe for dispensing. So for me, I just usually just keep it on here. I would suggest the same thing because it might be a headache trying to do all that. But once you put the 23 gauge syringe, for me, I had to order a lot of these because of COVID, you know, with the vaccine, they don't have a lot of 23 gauges in stock. Now you can go to 25, which is really a smaller needle for injection. And they work the exact same. So that's totally fine if you decide to use a different size needle. For me, I prefer 23s because that's usually what I've been using for the whole year. COVID just messed that up for me. So you put the 23 gauge needle on top, on your syringe, on your milliliter syringe, or 1 milliliter syringe, and after that you're almost ready for the injection process. Now, before I do the injection process, one thing I do want to say is that you want to use another alcohol pad to clean off the area. For me, I usually do it on my buttocks because I did it on my thigh at first, but I ended up switching it because my thigh was giving me a lot of issues and pain. So I decided to go to my butt area for my IM shot, and it's been extremely helpful. Now sometimes it can be a pain, literally in the ass, but it's still the most comfortable than it was on my thigh. So that's the route I decided to go. I always usually try to keep my band-aid prepped because sometimes I bleed and sometimes I don't. But at the end of the day, like, the testosterone leaks out regardless too, so it's just prepared just to have a band-aid ready. So what we're gonna do now is sterilize the area just to make sure that it's clean. my butt, and then we're going to do the injection process. So let me go wipe my butt off real quick. We're all done for the T-shot for today. Now, what you definitely have to do is dispose of your needle immediately. Please make sure you put the top on before you put the band-aid on, because you know, you don't want to accidentally stick yourself for any reason. And with that being said, that's the T-shot. Very simple, easy process, for sure. And I don't want you guys to ever think that you can't do it. One thing I do suggest too is you always switch sides every week, and that's why I was kind of discussing. I don't think it was off camera, but I was trying to figure out what side I was supposed to do it this week. I need to get like a letter board to put what side I do my T-shot on, because sometimes I forget, and they tell you not to really do it on the same side every week. So alternate sides every week, guys. It's the best practice. Like I said, whether that's you doing it in your legs or your arm or your butt, always switch sides. So do left, right, left, right, left, right. But yeah, let me show you guys my face and then we close out. Alright guys, so I appreciate you guys for joining me on my T-shot day today. If you guys have any questions, comments, and/or concerns, do not hesitate to ever get in contact with me about that, of any of this process of the T-shot. Excuse me, any process of this T-shot, because you know, everybody's always different. Please, first though, I am not a doctor nor a medical professional. I didn't go to school for medical. So if you have any real like medical questions that I can't answer related to any of this stuff, like medication, etc., etc., please contact your doctor about that information. Other than that though, I can answer any questions about syringe sizes and things like that, because I use these on a consistent basis and I use different ones, and as well as how to find syringes and where to go to get more syringes if you don't have any in stock at your local pharmacy. Real quick, because I did bring this up and I said I was going to show you guys about it. I always keep my old syringes in a mason jar, because I just like to keep the memories. So anytime I always have a empty syringe, an empty case of testosterone, I always keep them in this jar that I keep underneath my what is this thing called, people? Underneath my cabinet. Lord, I'm just going to do it today. I always like to keep my testosterone handy, just in case I do find out a plan of what I want to do with it. I have not decided what I want to do with my testosterone yet, so I'm hoping that some magical idea comes about right now. But I always like to keep them handy. You don't have to do that. I just do that for myself, just to look at the progress that I've made over the last year. And it hasn't been a lot of capsules, but it felt like it has. As many times I had to shoot myself in the butt for about a year now and some change. You'll be quite surprised at, you know, that journey of a T-shot every week. But that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to get in contact with me. I'm not a medical professional, so if you have any medical questions, I don't know what medical questions would be, but please talk to your doctor first, and those will get answered for you. Other than that though, you know, until next time guys, I appreciate you guys for being here, and peace out.